This week we are talking about a topic that makes me still fairly uncomfortable and kind of queasy, but I'll do it anyway, and that is coming out stories. Also, sorry for the fact that my voice sounds weird, I have a cold and my tonsils are swollen. Again. Okay, so I suppose I first began the process of coming out maybe this time last year, which was a fairly stressful time for me anyway, because these life-altering exams that we're forced to do in Ireland were about 2 months away, so I was freaking out about them, and then I was freaking about who I am, and there was a lot of freaking out going on. I remember I was getting very depressed, and I was just finding it difficult to find joy in doing anything in life, because it just seemed so hard to do anything or to find any way to be happy, because I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt incredibly different and odd, and I hated it. And I remember one day my English teacher, who is just an amazing person, she gave us this essay title for homework, which was Something That Makes Me Sad. And I remember being at home thinking, what in the hell am I going to write? Because there was a lot of stuff making me sad at the time. And then I just thought, fuck it, I'll write the truth, and if she reads it, she reads it. You know, at least it's a method of me venting. So I wrote everything. I came out to her in an essay. How ironic is that? I also wrote about how I felt isolated and alone, all because my sexual orientation seemed to make me different from everyone else, and I guess I also wrote about how I didn't think life was very much worth living anymore. And I remember she held me back after class and she says, "Shane, something as small as that does not define who you are. And yes, secondary school, it's a bit difficult to be different and you may want to fit in, but there's only 2 months of it left, and after that you'll go to college and you'll find people who are as amazing and unique as you are." And then I remember I cried in her classroom, much to my own dismay and disappointment. And after that I started coming out to my friends, slowly but surely. I remember after every instance of doing it I wanted to vomit, like literally wanted to vomit, and on occasion I did vomit, which is disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, not all reactions were positive. For instance, one person told me I had a mental illness, but all of those people have since come around, and the person who told me has a mental illness now occasionally texts me and saying, "I wonder what a dick tastes like." So I think that's progress. And then I went on and told a few of my cousins, not all of them because we have 50 cousins, so to tell all of them would take forever, and I still haven't told all of them because I don't actually see a lot of them most of the time. And from that it became apparent that I would have to tell my parents before going to college, because otherwise they would think college had changed me, as stupid a notion as that is. So maybe a month before college I told my dad, who said he wasn't happy but that he still loved me, and he made me tell my mum the next day, who said she always knew, so that was grand. Things were kind of awkward between me and my dad for a while. He just wouldn't look at me or talk to me, but eventually he came around and now we are as we used to be, all laughing and joking and crazy. And then after a few weeks my parents told my sister, because I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, because well, it isn't that big a deal when you look at it in retrospect. At the time it feels like such a massive thing, so I couldn't do it, so they told her. And then finally I got to college, and while I was initially quite hesitant, I eventually just joined the LGBT society in a sort of fuck it move, and everyone in college knows, which makes it pretty awesome up there, because I can just relax and be myself and like who I like and be with who I want to be with. While my method of dealing with things probably wasn't the healthiest, it is still proof that once you get over that hurdle of coming out to people, and you don't have to come out to your parents or your family, but just people, so that you can live the life you want to live, then things do get better. Obviously, if you know someone is a blatant homophobic, you may just have to do your best to remove them from your life and live for yourself, because you cannot live for other people. You are the most important person to you. As selfish as that sounds, it is true. If you start living for other people, it's going to mess up your mind and it's going to bring you to pretty dark places. So if my advice for you is, it gets better once you're able to climb that hurdle. Or climb that hurdle? The fuck does that mean? Jump that hurdle or climb that hill. I should not be allowed to use expressions. And that's my story. Peace out, bitches.